What's up everybody, welcome to the channel. We have two new fragrances here from French Avenue, Moonstone Blue and Moonstone Noir. The bottles are really cool. They're kind of cheapies, so they're in the $30 range. Let's talk about Moonstone Blue first. This is actually a It's not going to be for everyone. This is going to be a very challenging fragrances for people who do not like marine. It's very metallic and it's got this herbal vibe mixing in with that aquatic nature, which gives it off a nice aroma, but it's definitely unique. And I don't think a lot of people are gonna jive with this one if you do not like aquatic, metallic kind of smell. The main thing I get with it is it smells like a nice high quality soap. There is a ton of lavender in here and there's this beeswax, which gives it a very much of a soapy kind of quality. Ton of aldehydes in here as well and gives it that like sharp, musky freshness. And the aquatic nature in here comes across so aquatic. Let's talk about some of the notes. In the top, you have metallic notes, watery notes, aldehydes, violet leaf, cardamom, and black pepper. In the mid, you have lime. You also have some beeswax, some lavender. Really interesting note breakdown in the mid here. Really, really interesting. Base, this is where a lot of the magic happens, but it's very low in here. This is much more of a fresh fragrance, but in the base here, you do have white musk, you have myrrh, you also have woody, and there's this honey note in here as well. Really, really nice, but it's a very low lane base, pretty interesting, and it definitely is unique. I have not seen a note breakdown quite like this in a while, as it smells like a lot like soap. Soap quality through and through. There's a fascinating thing that happens when you add I think it's myrrh, frankincense, or that kind of thing, with like an iris kind of smell. It gives it almost this spicy soap-like quality, mixing in with some good musk. So that's what's kind of happening here. You find the same kind of spicy, soapy, musky kind of thing with Prada Amber, Pour Homme, that kind of style. But yeah, for my initial impressions of this one is it's very fresh. This is just a fresh through and through, a ton of aldehydes. It doesn't really smell natural by any means. It smells like very clean, sharp, musky kind of metallic kind of smell. It's not one of my favorites by any means, but it's definitely a nice, clean, aromatic lavender. There is some depth here with some spice and some frankincense myrrh kind of smell, but overall it's so fresh through and through. Ton of aldehydes in here. It is super powerful, clean, and it's actually very unique. I don't have any fragrance in my collection that smells like this, so that's, I guess, unique, but this is gonna turn off a lot of people. It's a very risky blind buy. It's a very sharp, clean, metallic soap-like quality. Not blind buy worthy, I think, in my opinion. If that sounds interesting to you at all, give it a shot. If you're a fragrance enthusiast that appreciates unique, different kinds of smells and not looking for like a signature scent worthy kind of fragrance, give it a shot. I would say, in my opinion, it's probably a 5 out of 10. When I was wearing it, it actually dried down very, very powdery too. So just that thought I wanted to put out there. All right, let's talk about Moonstone Noir here. This one I love a lot more than the blue version, and I thought it was gonna be the opposite. When I first ordered it, I thought that this one was gonna get thrown to the back of the shelf, and it's quite the opposite. I like this one a lot more than the blue version, and I'll tell you why. This one is a lot more centered around leather and this beautiful vanilla kind of character. There is oud in here, and everybody knows my frustration with oud sometimes. It comes across a little barnyard for me. It's borderline barnyard, but it's a lot clean with that nice vanilla tone in here. The vanilla really balances it out. Whenever I, really love oud fragrances, they're usually covered up with a lot of vanilla. So this is done in that kind of way. Vanilla, leather, and oud is the main thing you're gonna get here. This is a very rich, deep, wintertime fragrance. If you are wearing this in the springtime, you're going to hate yourself. It can be done. It's just very, very challenging. You're going to hate it, so don't do that. Just wear it when it's cold. The longevity is great on this one. I got a lot longer longevity on this one than Bleu Noir here, or Blue. I really didn't get all great longevity with this one either, so that's another disappointing factor on that one. But this one, definitely 10 hours plus. It was lingering around. I remember I was going to the gym later in the evening. It was like 9 or 10. I sprayed it on earlier that morning, and it was still in the air. I was still smelling it. So, and when I was working out, my body was heating up, and this thing was kind of pushing off a lot. So really good performance. Longevity is great. The smell is good. It's very rich, deep leather with this beautiful oud character. And the note breakdown says white oud, so it's a little softer than like a traditional oud, I suppose. I didn't really pick up much difference from this kind of oud from, you know, oud for glory or oud for happiness, that kind of thing. They also have vetiver and cedarwood in here as well to kind of clean up the woods a little bit. It comes across a little stinky with the oud. The leather is very rich in here, but it's mostly a sweet vanilla balancing act here. So it's really good, I think, in my opinion. I think it's like a 7 to 8 out of 10. I'll put it at an 8 out of 10, but only an 8 out of 10 is only for winter time. If we're talking about, you know, as a general fragrance, I would say it's like a 6 out of 10 because it's really not worth spending your money on if you're in the hotter climates, because you're not going to wear it at all. But if you have a nice cooler climate, I would say give it a try. Very nice if you like leather fragrances. So the conclusion, I really like Bleu, but it's really kind of a challenging fragrance in my opinion. It dries down pretty powdery, and I'm not really a fan of this whole metallic character here. When I was wearing it, it was kind of awkward, kind of weird, but I could appreciate it for the smell it is. It's just a very challenging fragrance, challenging blind buy. And for this one, the Noir, I really like the leather on here. The vanilla is very nice in here. The oud comes across a bit stinky. It's not totally overdone, but it definitely has that oud stank if you're looking for that. There's enough of a clean cedarwood in here to really clean it up a little bit. Vetiver is ever present in here as well. It's pretty dark, it's pretty rich, and if you like that kind of thing in the winter time, definitely go for it. I would avoid it if you're living in a hotter environment. Summertime, this thing is going to choke you out and you're not going to like yourself. Have you guys tried the Moonstone series from French Avenue? I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below.